Hi, this is Mike and welcome back to another video. Today what we're going to talk about is the Allegro multimeter's capability of actually synchronizing packets between multiple Allegro. So think of a scenario where you've got users that are at a remote site across the WAN or across any type of connection, whether that be VPN or traditional WAN circuits as they exist today. And the users are complaining that the network is slow. One of the really cool things you can do, if you have, for example, an Allegro that's monitoring and capturing all the packets in your data center, and for example, you've got users at this remote site, you can place any Allegro device at that remote site. For here in this diagram, I've got a little Allegro 500, which is a pocket-sized packet capture device that can capture up to 4 gigabits per second and can go up to 15 terabytes of storage. And one of the things that's very easy to do and built directly into the Allegro software itself is synchronize those Allegro. So for example, in this chart that you're seeing here, say that we've got a user or multiple users at this remote site. They're accessing a resource in the data center. Those packets go through the Allegro at the remote site and then arrive at the data center. One of the really cool things that you can do with this packet synchronization is actually look at the timestamps on those packets as they leave the remote site and as they arrive in the data center. And likewise, as they leave the data center and arrive back at the remote site, the Allegro is actually going to calculate that round trip delay. So very quickly, you can understand, hey, is this a WAN issue? Or is this something else that's causing the problem? The other really interesting thing that the Allegro can do as well is also show you any packet loss and show you the packet loss in a unidirectional fashion. So for example, maybe you're dropping packets coming from the remote site to the data center, but the path from the data center back to the remote site is clean and perfect. So now we're going to get into how to set this up. So in the Allegro UI here, you can see that I've come into generic path measurement, and essentially all I need to do is give a description of that primary device. In this case, I'm logged into an Allegro that's running on my laptop, which is kind of emulating a remote office, and connecting back to my data center, which I've labeled here as DC for data center. So what I've done is I've selected the two Allegro systems, and in fact, in this case, I'm using the data center as the remote site. And so I've essentially just selected the Allegro on the other end of this. If this were going across a firewall or an added connection, we can enable that as well. And once I have that up, all I need to do is hit Save Settings. So now in a few seconds, after the initialization gets set up, you can see it automatically starts measuring the round trip delay from my remote site, or in this case from my laptop to my data center, as well as charting out any lost packets between my data center and my laptop here in this case. So essentially what I'm doing here is I'm monitoring my Wi-Fi network as my laptop is connected via Wi-Fi. Connection between the remote site and your data center looks like. The other really cool thing that we do as well at Allegro is we also break this out per IP address pair. So you can see here I've got a connection that's running off to facebook.com. Essentially we can see all of the delay from a network perspective. And again, this is my wide area network delay. Doesn't include the internet. So this is a great way to troubleshoot any internal connections. Likewise, you can do this between any two Allegros regardless of where they are, as long as they have IP connectivity. So think data center to the cloud, as well as remote site to data center. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.